gentlemen, before floor, an extension of 5 on the floor here on the 5 Reasons YouTube channel. I'm Ethan Skolnick from Casaya Center down in Miami. I got Mateo Mayorga from parts unknown, actually Denver, right? Denver, is that where we are right now? There you go. There you go. Be two of us here today. We got Manny Chang, our producer. Appreciate him doing this here for us tonight. This will be a quick show. We just want to kind of prime you for the game. Now that we know a little bit more about what's going on, we still don't have a starting lineup for the Heat, but we do know the big news on the Bucks side. So we'll get to that in a second. Do want to mention our two sponsors here of the pregame show, Prize Picks. Use the code 5, F-I-V-E. Get that initial deposit matched up to $100. You see the promo code there, F-I-V-E. Take care of that and start to play because there's some good things on the board right now. I'd be playing Bobby Portis over on most stuff tonight. Caleb Martin over half a free throw made. That looks pretty good. Jimmy's props look pretty good tonight as well. So go to Prize Picks, use the code 5, F-I-V-E. Jump in on, if you have time, get in on the Laker game as well. We've got props on Twitter feed right now that are actually doing fairly well. So check those out and again, get that initial deposit match to 100. Also want to mention our friend Mark Brown. Go to markbrownpa.com. Get yourself an estate plan. If you've got a child, make sure that your money is going to the right place if something happens to you. You don't want to get stuck in probate. So reach out to markbrownpa.com. The phone number is 954-566-5678. He's also a real estate attorney. If you need a closing, you got a bankruptcy, anything along those lines, he can answer all of your real estate questions on the legal side. Handled everything for me, and I can tell you he does a great job and go through everything with you, and he does not overcharge you. I can promise you that. We know a lot of attorneys do. All right, let's get to the big news here today. We're just going to go through 4 quick points, and I will do 5 because whatever, it's 5 reasons. Number 1, Giannis is out. Your thoughts?
Well, Ethan, this should in theory, make it a lot easier to guard the paint. But even without him in the last game, Milwaukee still scored 40 in the box through the first half, and Brook Lopez had 18 of those. Miami needs to do a better job of containing him on his rim rolls. And really, I'm not sure if the adjustment is bringing in Caleb Martin to the starting rotation, so he tags Bobby Portis, and then you stick Adebayo onto Brook Lopez to see if, the Deion Sanders effect is going on, if Milwaukee is targeting the front court player opposite to Bam. But that's something that Heat could do now that Giannis is for sure out of this game. But really, the Heat just need to use that information and do a better job of clogging the lane and recovering to the three-point line when the drive and kick is performed, because the inside action wasn't the only thing that killed them last game. Ethan, Bucks shot over 50% from three-point range in the first half, and that carried on the rest of the game. The offense wasn't the problem; it was defensively for the Heat. Before yesterday's games, the Heat had like the highest points per 100 possessions of the 16 teams that qualified in the playoffs. Just defensively, it's been a nightmare, even without Milwaukee having the best player in the world. Drew Holiday has still got it going. The Heat need to do a better job of staying in front of the ball handler so the backline defenders aren't put in or out of position later in the game.
Yeah, no doubt. And we talk about the defense. I mean, that was the 3rd worst defensive rating for the Heat the entire season, including all 82 games and the play-in. And again, that was a game without Giannis. Number 2, we don't have a starting lineup yet. There are a lot of different ways they can go. So before we get it should be out here shortly. Which way would you go? Continue to start Duncan Robinson, go with Kevin Love, Caleb Martin, Haywood Highsmith, or Victor Oladipo. You have 5 options. Pick one.
I would go with Caleb Martin. You definitely can't do the Duncan Robinson thing again because he gave you 0 points in the first half last game. And before the first half ended, Miami was down already 28 points. It's not like Caleb is a great offensive option, but you can maybe count on him to hit a fast break long 2 with his foot on the line, or maybe count on him to hit a transition dunk. But you really need somebody to provide some points, and he seems like the steadiest option for me. What do you say about that?
Yeah, I would go with Caleb. That would be the way I would do it, except the problem is you are breaking up your bench rotation. He does not like to do that. This comes in from Mr. Alex. Stop messing around and get Bam to defend Brook. Well, there you go. Well, we might have that. I think it's going to be Kevin Love. We'll see. I think it's going to be Kevin Love. And then play Cody Zeller off the bench. Alex, by the way, will be here on playback and at the game with us tonight. Greg Sylvander's hosting playback, so make sure you check that out. All right, number 3 here tonight. Just generally, okay, what do you want to see from Bam Adebayo?
Well, I really want to see him try to neutralize Brook Lopez if he is the option they're going to score the ball early, because Miami doesn't have really options that are tall enough, strong enough, and quick enough to stay in front of Brook aside from Bam Adebayo. In the last game, guys like Victor Vincent were closing out on him when they were playing a zone, but Brook was hitting some hook shots. So there's really not much other guys can do. But really, Bam Adebayo has to be kind of like the MVP of the game tonight, because he has to shut down one of their premier front court players, and you still need him to give you at least 20 points on the offensive side of the ball with at least 55% shooting. So that he need to be looking for him in the pick and roll to feed him the ball when the ball handler has 2 sent at him. They cannot forget about him and let him get disinterested.
All right, Kyle Lowry, number 4. Kyle Lowry is active tonight. Not real concern, but he was listed as questionable. Gabe Vincent's had some games against Milwaukee, particularly when Giannis has not played. But do you think we're heading towards a point of the season where this is tilting more towards maybe Kyle getting more minutes?
I think so, because, Spoelstra seems like a guy that trusts his veterans as the season, like it gets later in the year. I know last season in Game 7 he didn't play PJ Tucker more than 17 minutes, but Kyle Lowry really has lost his minutes because of injury, and I know Spoelstra really likes to use him because he is one of the Heat's smarter players. If he is hitting his jump shot, he does turn into a very effective player because it makes him want to attack the lane more. You see him get more active, getting the ball down the court in transition, also with the hit-ahead pass or him looking to get downhill. But I think you're probably right. Spoelstra leans more towards him because of the veteran experience. I think he says, darn the 37,000 minutes played. I need my best, guys out there on the floor and I may need to even break up some rotations to do it.
By the way, you're wearing white, so you're in the spirit of this white hot. Unfortunately, the Heat, for some reason, cannot afford T-shirts tonight, so everybody's getting these little towels. They're going to end up under their sink. We'll see if they actually get T-shirts for Game 4. Let's finish it right here, and we thank our sponsors, Prize Picks. Use code 5, markbrownpa.com. You need an estate plan, or you just need help for the real estate attorney. He's the guy to go to. Check out Playback tonight. Again, we'll be here. We got a hangover time on the channel after the game. We'll have one of us from the arena joining guys from Miami Heat Beat, and also a podcast after the game. I'll leave it with you here, Mateo. Do they win tonight?
I think they win tonight. I find it very difficult to believe that Spoelstra could go a couple of days without fixing or at least trying some type of adjustment to limit Brook Lopez's action in the first half. I think Jimmy, Bam, and Max Strus are going to have some big games, and really also out of necessity. Jimmy has had back-to-back opening huge first quarters. I think that continues again tonight, and I think we'll also see double-digit free throw attempts for him to try to slow it down for the other team. So give me a Heat W. What do you think?
Yeah, I think they get a split here, and I don't think Giannis is going to play until they lose again. That seems to be the direction that this is going. I think you get the home crowd in here energized. But I picked against them on 5 on the floor, so I guess I got to stay consistent here. I feel like this is one of those close games and clutch games that maybe goes the other direction tonight. For me, the key is pretty simple. He got to shoot better than 35% from 3. Shoot better than 35% from 3. I don't think Brook gets off again tonight. I actually think Portis and Holiday maybe and Middleton may be the bigger problems tonight. It'll be interesting to see if you end up playing a little bigger to play Lopez than how you handle some of the perimeter players. And I do think you could see Middleton kind of get going tonight. And I'm going to say Middleton makes a big shot late that beats them. So that's where I'm at with it. Look, I just don't have a lot of faith in the Heat being able to create consistent offense throughout the series without Tyler Hero. I just think this is a little bit of a hangover. You got the win in that game on adrenaline. But Tyler does things that nobody else on this team does. And I know he has limitations, but I think people are going to appreciate him a little bit more because the Heat just don't have anybody who can replicate many of the things what he does on offense. It's going to have to be Vincent, Lowry, kind of getting into the creases of the Milwaukee defense, making floaters, making mid-range shots. I don't know if I can count on either of them to do that consistently. So I'm going to say Milwaukee in a close game tonight. But if you want to bet it, go to Better Edge. Thanks, Mateo. We appreciate it. Thanks to Manny. We'll have a Prize Pick show up here shortly. And again, catch us on Playback during the game. Have a good day, everybody.
Peace.